friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're looking for books to be able to change your whole world and life, make sure you watch this whole entire video because there are actually a lot of books that really have changed my life. So it was really hard for me to only pick 4, but today I'm going to be talking about 4 books that has truly changed my whole life and my whole perspective of the world. If you're looking for a new book to read, I highly recommend the books that I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'm going to have links to the books in the description below, so if you're interested in any of the books that you want to get for yourself as well. I personally love reading from this particular authors. These guys are multi-millionaires. If you're excited, make sure you like it. Like this video. First book that I highly recommend everyone should read. First Steps to Wealth by Danny Johnson. I love this book so much that I actually have 2. As you can see, I have worn this book out. And when I got this book, it was actually my first step, literally, to wealthiness, to become wealthy and actually learning more about business. So what it says here, a revolution to increase your income, improve your relationships, which is a big one, and expand your influence. So money comes from influence. When you expand your influence and you have a group of people who follow you and adore you and they love the value that you provide for them, they're gonna follow you for years. They're gonna become your absolute advocates in your life and your best friends. I've had this book now since I believe 2015, 2016, and I've also attended her seminars. I went a little bit crazy with this. I just was so hungry to learn. I mean, I still am very hungry, but now it's like, okay, I learned so much over the years. It's now to start putting a lot of things into practice. Not that I haven't, but starting to put more things into practice and not get so comfortable in just learning. I was able to double my income by reading this book and also attending her seminars. I know after COVID, things are a little bit different, but I highly recommend that you attend their virtual seminars. All the information is in the description below. This woman right here, Danny Johnson, has changed my life forever. I know she's retired now, but I will forever be thankful for all her content. Like literally 30 years worth of content and experience and knowledge from a multi-millionaire is all provided here in this book. 30 years worth of knowledge. Attending her seminars was truly something that I needed at the time. I went like every single month. We're talking about 6 to 8 weeks. I was at a state. I was somewhere. I was at a business seminar. I was learning about relationships, something that I was not good at before, just like being able to communicate with other people, which is why after all of those years of knowledge, which I would say about 5 years worth of knowledge from this woman, I was able to incorporate all of that and put it into my own very own YouTube. I know the basics of video production. I've learned it since I was like 13 years old, learning it on my own, and then I went to school for that, blah, blah, blah. Now learning about business development and leadership development. There's just so much that I want to share with the world. Who recommended me this, look, I even got like, it's crazy. I love highlighting, so I love hard copy. Who recommended me this book was my boyfriend. It's just been history ever since. He dropped that seed in me and it just turned out to be something extremely miraculous that I didn't even know. Everything that you need in order to make it real big or just make it in the world and being able to design the life that you want, everything that you need, I swear, this is like the Bible. To help you switch your focus into where you want to go, even if you don't know where to start. This is the woman right here. Again, the link is below for you to get it. And the next book is True Wealth Formula. This book has helped me to, obviously what it says, how to master money, live free, and build a legacy. This is all about money management. Learning where to put your money, learning where to grow it, learning how to save it, how much to save, how much to put into investments, and how to actually have a system and a formula down without relying so much on your feelings and emotions, but you're actually relying on an actual practical formula to be able to grow your wealth. If you want your income to be tripled, I highly recommend that you read this. It's very simple to read. The book is so small, like anyone can read this. It's so practical. Like I said, like I just highlight everything pretty well, not really. He helps you to start where you are at. No matter where you are at financially, he helps you to grow it. He even helps you to get out of debt. For the ones that highly want to get out of debt, you don't need to be a millionaire today to be able to get out of debt. He teaches you step by step in order to be able to do that, grow your income, grow your influence, and leave a legacy of future millionaires. this right here. Highly recommended. I love it. I know I referenced back so many times to this book because it's a practical book. Like, you can't just like read it and then not pick it up again. This is a reference book. So I highly recommend this book so much for those individuals that truly, truly want to make an impact, not just for yourself, but for the lives that are behind you and for the people that you don't even know. Like, this is something much bigger than what we're living. Here, he teaches you how to do that. Now, it's Hans Johnson. Yes, it is the husband of Dani Johnson. They've been married now for 27 odd years or so. This guy's also an 8-figure income earner multiple times. You learn from this guy because he has a system down, and it's always important to depend on a system rather to depend on ourselves. Link is below for you. And the next book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I am sure you have heard of this book before, and there's a reason as to why this book is extremely popular today, but there's a reason as to why a lot of mentors, a lot of people recommend this book in order for you to grow your wealth. There's no way that you cannot grow something if you do not know how to communicate with other people. There's no way to build something by yourself. Here is an extremely powerful, practical book on knowing how to be able to communicate with others. You know, I used to be the person that didn't know how to communicate with family members. I was shut off. I would be isolating myself many times, and I would not grow. I wouldn't, like, life sucked. Life was not fun at all when I didn't know how to communicate, because we're not taught these things in school. We're not taught by our parents. We're not taught to have successful marriages by our parents. And if you have, that's great. Some of us, majority of us, have not been taught to have successful marriages, how to grow your income, how to build the life of your dreams, how to build the businesses of your dreams. It comes down to this. I actually met, from the people that I've learned from, very successful people, very wealthy people, like whether they're in real estate, sales is great for sales. Let's face it, everything in life involves sales. If that girl is not dating you, it's because you're not very good at sales. Bottom line, everything is about persuading other people. Has nothing to do with manipulation, because if you use this book for manipulation and manipulating other people, it's going to be a very hard road for you. It's just people are going to manipulate you, because what you reap you sow. This book will help you to really understand people, why they think the way they think, how to actually get to know them, how to actually help them in what it is that you're doing. I cannot recommend this book enough. I still reference back to this book. I still fall short sometimes, and it's so good to have a reference to go back to and be like, that's when I screwed up. I should have handled it this way a lot better. Because of this book, again, I have a lot of money in the bank. I have multiple assets growing for me, multiple sources of income. I have incredible relationships with people that I have never had before in my life. Like, who does that? I have an incredible romantic relationship with my boyfriend today. I am building something that I want to leave a legacy of people having their lives transformed by everything that was engraved in me through all these mentors, and me obviously taking action and applying and leading by example. So if people is your challenge, this thing right here, you cannot go anywhere by yourself. And bottom line, you do want that successful life. Whatever that success is for you, whatever you define success as, whatever life you want, it deals with people. If we are lacking in something, it deals with people. Highly recommend it. So the link is below for you. By the way, for the first person that purchased this book with the link that I have in this video below in the description, for the first person that purchased this, I will give you an extra book, mail it out to you, and you can give it to a loved one, to whoever you wanted to give it to for a gift or whatever occasion. I'm going to give you a free book in addition to when you purchase this book. So if you're the first person to purchase this book from the link that I have in the description, make sure you also email me with a screenshot of your confirmation saying that you got this book, and I'll personally send you with a special note over to you. The next book that I highly recommend, it's also from Dani Johnson, and I really want you to hear me out when I talk about this particular book. I have read this book like twice now. Spirit-driven success. Now hear me out. From this book, I was able to double my salary. I was able to go from poverty mindset to a very wealth mindset. I was able to clean up a lot of things that were inside of me, just baggage. I was able to release majority of that because of this book. I remember when I first picked up this book, this is before I started working for Grant Cardone. I literally took a trip to Miami, and I just showed up in his office unannounced. I don't know, sometimes I do crazy stuff like that, but I remember in my hotel room, I picked up this book and I started reading, and I swear to you, a lot of tears went down my face. It's I don't know how to really explain it, but it really changes your whole mindset of how you can use spirituality in a form of creating wealth for yourself. She explains it a lot better. She pretty much says, learn time-tested biblical secrets to create wealth while serving others. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be religious. I'm certainly not religious. I am spiritual. I love knowing the truth and I want to follow the truth. But wherever it is that you are, if you're a Muslim, if you're whatever that you believe in, this is extremely practical as well. Like I said, it made me so much money. So I read this book and I finished this book, I would say about within days. And I don't usually do that. I could not put it down because it really is very short and it's very easy to read. I showed up at Grant Cardone's office, and I got the job. And because everything that I learned from this book, I was able to be released from poverty, and I just went forward in life with everything that I learned from Grant Cardone as well by working with him. And I made a lot of money that I never thought I could ever make in my life, to be quite honest with you. And I get emotional saying this because if you really knew me, if you knew where I came from, I wasn't given a handout. It was hard for us to make money. I was taught that money is hard to make, and this book has really released me from that bondage. And I can say today that I have broke free from that bondage. I am in freedom, and like I said, I cannot highly recommend this book enough. So you don't have to be spiritual, you don't have to be religious at all, whatever. They're not even the same thing. I highly recommend that you truly get your hands on this book, because if you're struggling, if you're dealing with bondage regarding money and you don't know how to break free, this is the one right here. Because we want to tap into something that most people don't talk about. We want to, if you are spiritual, how can you put spiritual and wealth together? She breaks it down for you, and it says, conquer fear and poverty mindsets, unlock the doors to true wealth, prosperity, and riches and happiness. This book right here has truly changed my whole life, and it can change yours too. But of all the books, to be quite honest with you, yes, I do recommend you reading all of them. But if you're the type of person that is struggling and believe poverty mindsets and you didn't come up with a rich family, this one, this is your baby right here. It's phenomenal. Talking about it makes me want to go back to reading it again. I also want to share with you guys the book that I'm currently reading. Is called Big Money Energy by Ryan Serhant. If you don't know who Ryan Serhant is, go check out his YouTube. One of the top very successful real estate agents in the whole world. One of the most famous brands in the entire world. He teaches you how to create your brand, how to become outstanding, how to become different and unique from other people. And his story, if you were to look at him right now, you would think, oh man, he probably had it so easy. His life looked so perfect. He knew exactly what he was doing with his life. All of that is false. Even the introduction of the book, I just cried. As you can tell, I'm very emotional. I mean, I'm a woman, I'm gonna be emotional. But I mean, that doesn't really matter. This book has truly, even the first chapter has really changed my whole judgment towards Ryan. And I felt so bad because it's just so easy to just take a look at anybody and judge from the cover of the book. But when I read, it's like, wow, I really judged harshly on that one. And please forgive me. And I did send him an email right after explaining to him how even the first chapter really, really touched me. And I had no idea how hard it was for him. But he teaches you how to break free from the poverty mindset as well, from a different perspective. And he teaches you also how to act now as though you already have it. Act now as though you already have the life, starting all with your mind and just acting that person now. Whoever it is that person that you want to become, he helps you to become that now. So even if you don't know what kind of person you want to become, write it down. Just challenge yourself mentally, emotionally, physically of the kind of person that you want to become and start acting now. If you want that dynamic, booming business, How would you treat that business now? He really does challenge me in so many different ways as a person. And he makes me think of, who do I want to become in 5 years? Who do I want to become in 10 years? And he tells you to write down that person, and he tells you to write down that kind of life that you want. He tells you to put it in your pocket and take it around with you. So I'm very still new with Ryan's content, but I'm loving this book so far. If you want to break free from poverty into a very wealth mindset and be that person today of who you want to become, highly recommend this book. Again, link is in the description below for you. I have many more books that I can totally share, but this video is going to be way too long if I did do that. So if you really enjoyed this video, make sure you like the video. Like I said, I have all the links in the description below for you to get the books yourself. Again, if you're going to get First Steps to Wealth book, if you're the first one to get it, make sure you email me with a screenshot of your confirmation that you got it, and I'll personally send this over to you with a special note. If you really love this video and you want to see more of this, just comment below. Let me know what were your takeaways. What is the book that you're going to start reading? Ask me any questions. Let me know which book you're going to get next. And I am so grateful that you're here. Thank you for watching this whole entire thing. Again, if you enjoyed it, make sure you also share it with your friends. And if you have any ideas or the kind of video that you want me to do next, again, comment down below. And if you're battling with something like eternally that you definitely want to talk secretly and kind of privately, make sure you email me at nathalie.lazo@gmail.com. Thank you for being here. Remember to subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Ciao.